Hello, Victor Robinson again. So, I got a lot of movie ideas in my head. So I go to this thing called the greenlightpicks.com. And I've created a lot of stories. And you guys may need to check it out because I got a lot of ideas. A lot of good ones. Like, how about this? Delta Force 2018. Terrorists taking over LAX. And also at LAX is the president's wife and daughter. And they get kidnapped by this radical terrorist. This guy was actually kidnapped by the Taliban and was turned. And long story short, he has a lot of the jihadists with him. And they're taking over the whole entire LAX. The runways, everything. If they're not, the man's not met, they're gonna blow the whole LAX. And the president's actually Chuck Norris from the original Delta Force. And the good idea about that is you got a whole crew. You got Jason Statham, Scott Adkins, Rampage Jackson. Hell, Liam Neeson is the leader, playing Lee Marvin's part. And I think that'd be awesome for a whole new Delta Force with the same song. Dun, 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 dun. And hell, another summer blockbuster to make up. How about a movie called The Go-Between? With Leo DiCaprio or Mark Wahlberg, one of them. And he sits between, it's like probably set in the 80s. And he sits between the Russian mob and the Italians and trying to make everything, sweet. A sweet deal between them. He's like a broker. He set this thing up and he set them up and he puts two people together who hate each other. And they try to get things done. But then he gets framed for murder when one of the crime films decided to wipe each other out. And then you got Matthew McConaughey, the FBI agent who's trying to find out what's going on and really hates Leo DiCaprio. And they go after each other. He goes after him. And then Leo DiCaprio gets his girlfriend from New York City, Dakota Johnson from 50 Shades of Grey. And they're on a run together. But also, Leo DiCaprio don't know is the guy who did the hit is actually a guy played by Ryan Reynolds, a hitman, who's trying to get the person who is responsible for killing his wife and his children. Matthew McConaughey is the one that set Ryan Reynolds on this course of action because he really hates Leo DiCaprio because Leo DiCaprio caused him a lot of problems. And then you got Al Pacino, the guy who saved Leo DiCaprio or Mark Wahlberg, which one of the guys who play the title role, and they are the ones. Al Pacino's the one that's like, you know what? You were my best person ever made. Al Pacino used to run this, the go-between thing, because he used to run it, and then he gave it on to Leo DiCaprio or Mark Wahlberg. And the go-between is actually sound like an Oscar-winning performance, dramatic like Wolf on Wall Street meets Body of Lies. Both Leo DiCaprio movies. Then Blade versus The Punisher. Wesley Snipes probably come back as Blade and him teaming up with The Punisher. Or you got a new Blade. Right after Blade Trinity. Right after that. So it's right after that. About 10 years after that. And The Punisher coming out 10 fuck up. That guy from Walking Dead, John Burchell, he is good as fuck as Blade. He's reminding me of Dolph Lundgren and Ray Stevenson. Thomas Jane, I love you, but you weren't good as The Punisher. I'm sorry. Because The Punisher seems like a damn cop movie. The remake 2001 version wasn't really that. It was good, but it had a good soundtrack. And John Travolta playing a guy, but it just wasn't Punisher material. Warzone was a badass Punisher movie. I'm a movie lover. I love movies. I love all movies. I love Chinatown with Jack Nicholson and Faye Dunaway. Good movie. Pope of Greenwich Village, Mickey Rourke, Eric Roberts. They cut off my fucking thumb, Charlie! They cut off my thumb! And I just watched that last night, and Barfly with Mickey Rourke. Mickey Rourke, can you do a remake? Not a remake, a reintroduction of Barfly. If Faye Dunaway's still alive, Alice Creed, the whole cast, Frank Stallone, all you guys get back together for a new Barfly or Barfly sequel. Bring back the 80s. Bring back the old movies where you get to kick somebody's ass and then throw them out the goddamn window. Or a horror movie like Slugs, or a horror movie like Shivers, or all those type of old horror movies that make it better. The new world, new revolution here. Fuck everything else you've been watching. Like It Follows. It Follows is good. Bring back the 80s. Bring back movies, more movies like White Bird and Blizzard. It was a good fucking movie. Bring back something like that. Some movies that make you cry. Get on your knees and say, God, make me cry. Make me feel good. That's what you want. Christmas is good. It's Wonderful Life. Forget about what are these live Grease and live rock and horror show. How about you make a good ass movie like It's Wonderful Life? Now that's a classic, But how about you re-up it, redo it, not redo it, not remake. How about you upload it, give somebody like a Ben Affleck, the Rock, or somebody to play that movie. Just redo it. I love It's Wonderful Life. I do. I love it to the T. But you guys can do it, make a little something, But I am a movie guy, man. I've been wanting to do movies for a long time. I wrote stories. I got a whole book here full of shit I'm writing. Whole book. All this stuff I'm writing. And I got stuff on my computer I wrote. Man, I'm telling you. I will tell you. I love movies. I've been watching movies since I was a kid. The first movie I seen was Beverly Hills Cop. I saw rated R movies when I was 9, Cat People. Nightmare on Elm Street, the original Nightmare on Elm Street, the flavor of it. Freddy vs. Jason, Part 2. Forget about Freddy vs. Jason. Forget about it. Call it the slasher list. Every victim, every person that survived comes back. But not them, their sons. Like Jacob. Jacob from Nightmare on Elm Street 4, his mama Alice. Jacob is a professional thief. The son of the devil, Damien, has been given a job to find Freddy and Jason. Freddy and Jason escaped hell, so he considerably caused something to happen. And Damien is a badass. I'm not talking about the Damien from the original Owen. I'm talking about the new Damien. This Damien is a badass. He's got a woman with him who was in a mental institution at Western Hill, was actually a victim of Freddy, but Freddy didn't kill her because she was too crazy. But that's a lot of things going to happen with that. The baby from Friday, Jason Goes to Hell, she's with Jacob. She's his girl, and she's a hacker. But anyway, then you got Billy from Halloween 5, the little boy that was running around with Jamie, and she was saying, Rachel! Rachel! That boy is the guy that Jacob's robbing, and Billy is a big-time crime boss in Las Vegas. But Damien takes the money from Jacob and the girl from Jason Go to Hell and decided to put that money somewhere in Elm Street, in the Elm Street house, which actually been rebuilt, same way in Freddy vs. Jason, to start a war. Freddy and Jason almost opened the gates of hell. So what is all this going on now? All this connection ability. Jacob has to go in the Elm Street house to get the money that this guy put in. Damien set this whole thing up. He put people in that house, and now Jason is coming back because Jason is on loose. But Damien changed the rules, just like Freddy changed the rules. He gave Jason a reason to go after Elm Street by using his flesh and blood. Because Jason still wants the bloodline deceased. Why is that? There's a lot of things you can fuck around with. Michael Myers, you throw his ass in the mix. You got a reason, because Billy. But we're not going to throw him in there. They ain't got to fight each other. Just throw him in there. Just throw them in there. Freddy and Jason got to fight each other. Jason's got Freddy. Damien's going to fight Jason because Jason's going to kill his lady. And that's going to start a whole new game. I may not be making sense right now because I'm not new to this creating a video thing on my phone. But I'm just trying to say, I got ideas like a motherfucker. things that make your head spin about something. Because all this music, all these stuff sitting down here, you guys, we're not touching it. We're going on to 2018. We're remaking shit. Remake it, make it better. Like New Nightmare on Elm Street. Big body count. Change the game. Nancy is the star, but change Nancy. Let's do something else. Let's add more sex to it. Add more bloody. Make it a body. Fuck that. You know what? Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy Revenge, and the Dream Warriors all in one movie. How about that? You're making Lord of the Rings. You're making Harry Potter 3 hours long. How about we make a 3-hour long Nightmare on Elm Street? Bloody, scary, sexy, every fucking thing. I'm talking about Tracy Lords as Nancy's mother. I'm talking about change the game. And this time, let's just think about the original Nightmare on Elm Street. You got the boyfriend of Nancy. You got all these people that got killed. Yeah, they can get killed. Add some more people to the body count. Change the game. Everything you watch, Freddy Nightmares, Nightmare on Elm Street, all of them. Watch them all at once. Have your little marathon. Then you decide to sit down. Freddy Dead too. Throw it all in there and make that one movie. That one Nightmare on Elm Street with everything in it. Now fuck it. How about this? Make the Elm Street pre-sequel first. Freddy growing. No, forget about Freddy. When Freddy was going around killing kids around town. Working in the boiler room and all that shit. Right? You got that going on, right? Then you got the sheriff of the town. The deputy is actually Nancy's dad. And he's young. Do that first. You already seen that Elm Street original. Make the story from that. The old story, the mother and everybody running through town in the 60s, doing what they do. The FBI come to town, they investigate this Freddy murders and stuff like that. Then the next thing you know, Freddy gets loose because of the technicality. The technicality is that sheriff whooped Freddy's ass. And they made it like Freddy like who wanted to die. Freddy didn't want to die. Freddy got his ass beat. And then when they let him loose, they let him loose. Anyway, he was a pedophile, he was a psychopath, and everything else, you know it. But the sheriff was a badass. Not like the Freddy Nightmares pilot when that guy was scared and having nightmares about Freddy Krueger. No. He killed Freddy. He fucked him up. He did what he did. But it wasn't just the sheriff that killed him. It was the whole damn town that killed Freddy. They burned his ass down. To do that story. Do that whole story. Then next thing you know, next year, you bring out the Nightmare on Elm Street new remake. But forget about Nightmare on Elm Street. A Nightmare on Elm Street. We don't want to mess up Wes Craven's Nightmare. Just say The Nightmare on Elm Street. Or just call it Freddy Krueger. Simple as that. And booyah, you got yourself a first movie. Throw the first two. Freddy Revenge and then the movie. Change around. I got a good idea for you. Now, if you watch the original Nightmare on Elm Street, Nancy was in there setting up the house and everything. Yeah, that's Wes Craven's best thing he did. He made a girl put her home devices down. Changed the game. Let's say the mother of Nancy, right? Let's say she's got a brother. He was Vietnam vet. We're not gonna set the Nightmare on Elm Street in a 2018 world. No, we're gonna set it in the 80s, like it's supposed to be done. It was best in the 80s. 80s music, 80s clothes, 80s